What's up, everybody, and welcome to a Fortnite creative tutorial. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make a 1v1 box fight. And I can make a 2v2, just a box fight PvP if you want to, but for now, I'm making a 1v1 just in case you and your friend want to fight real quick. And let's get started. So what you want to do first is, of course, you want to create a new island. Pick any island you want as long as it's flat, because a boss fight is always flat. But the one I will be using is down here, the block. So you want to confirm. You can name that however you want, but I'm going to name mine 1v1 box fight. And then you want to confirm, and that will be made. And here we are at the block. It is tiny, but that is all we need. We don't need it to be big at all. We just need a small area where you can just make a tiny boss fight. The materials you will need for this are, well, there's not a lot at all, but the first thing you'll need is a player spawner right here. You want to get that. You'll also want to get a timed objective plus a barrier device, not to be mistaken with the one that goes in your traps. And the last one you will need is a basic storm control, which you don't need. Let me tell you that now. You don't need. If you don't want a storm, you don't have to have one. It is only a 1v1, so I recommend not having one. But if you do want a storm, get the basic storm controller. And the last thing you will want is the team settings in the inventory. All you need is one. Now for the materials, you will want to search up black and go to the structures gallery, reflective black. You want to open that. You want to get the floor and the wall. You don't have to have the wall, but what I'm going to show you is the basic way and then an aesthetic way. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is we want to make our boss fight. We're going to make it a 3x4 because it is only a 1v1, so we don't want it to be too big, and I'm just going to keep it relatively small. Then we want to make our walls 2 blocks tall. Just like that. Now you want to fill in the roof. Of course, first I'm going to show y'all how to do it the easy way. Then afterwards I will show you how to make it a little more pleasing to the eye. Now since we're in here, we can place our spawns. But you want to get your grid snap all the way to 1, and you want to face it the right way, which that is correct. You want to turn it until it's looking the right way. There we go. They're both looking at each other. Next, you want to make your grid snap 2, just like that. And you'll want to turn it so it's facing, the arrow is facing towards one of the player spawners. And you'll want to put that in the middle, grid snap 2, so that way, or that's wrong. What you want to do is you want to make the width 3 and the height 2, and the depth needs to be this. So that way it's just basically a wall that is blocking you. Next, you will want to make both of the player spawn pads invisible, so that way players cannot see them when they spawn in, because you don't want that to be a thing. And this looks like it's crooked, so let me just go ahead and move that real quick. There we go. Now you will want to get your timed objective and just place that really anywhere, but this will be how the barrier inside of here disappears, so then they can start fighting. But the first thing you want to do is you want to go in here. I am going to make it 5 seconds so you have 5 times to prepare for the fight. The only other setting you need to change is start when round starts. So these are the only 2 settings you need to have. Then you want to go inside, go to your little old barrier, and then go to disable when you're receiving from, click select device, time objective, and then on completed. There you go. Now this will disappear whenever you start your game. And now we just have one more step, which is the guns and ammo. Face away so you don't accidentally place any guns that you don't want. But for this, I am going to get myself a basic blue assault rifle, a basic purple pump, small shield potions. I'm actually going to give 3, and then a slurp fish. Now the materials is completely up to you. And the ammo, I recommend getting quite a bit of ammo. But for my 1v1, I will be using this and giving plenty of ammo just so you don't ever run out. Having 3 minis, 1 slurp. I will give 500 wood, but I am going to give just a little bit about a brick just because it's a tiny map and you don't want to, if you want to build a more secure box, you can, but that is completely up to you. But make sure you don't give too many mats because this is a very tight space. Now, a very important part is the settings, and I recommend putting your voice chat to all. Now, you will only be able to have 2 players since this is a 1v1. Your spawn limit should just be 1. You should not spawn multiple times. Total rounds is completely up to you, but I will be making it 10. Time limit you should not have at all. Eliminations to the end should be 1 due to the fact there only should be 2 people. You don't have to turn last one standing on. If your map does bug out, you can turn the last one standing on just in case. Elimination score should be 1. You can have game start off just so you don't have any extra bugs, because there are chances. Now let's go into settings. This is completely up to you. I am not changing it, but you do want 100% shield. Make sure that resources are not infinite and that building cannot destroy environment. Environment damage is off. Eliminate players is drop. Respawn time, they shouldn't have to change this because this should not matter at all. Jump fatigue, you can keep that on. Redeploy, you can turn this off, even though it really does not matter at all, but I will. I'm going to change this to always high because I don't want my nameplates on. Now, health and wood and stuff against elimination would matter in a regular boss fight, but this is not a regular boss fight. It's just a 1v1, so Siphon does not matter. Now for the last one, UI. I changed these to this, so it's pretty quick. And the only other things I'll change here is the win condition, which is eliminations, and I also use damage dealt. Now we can start up the game and see how it feels and see if it's good. See, there's no time. It tells you at the top when it stops. There you go. You can, of course, have a timer about when the game starts, but that is completely up to you. I just do not want a timer. Now, if you do want this to have a storm, I will show you how to add a storm. So, you want to take your basic storm controller, make sure your snap is on 2. You can place this anywhere in the middle you want, but I'm just going to be placing it in the middle. And you don't have to do too many settings. Generate is good, but you want to put this on 20, so that way it's outside. But if you do 10 meters, it'll be inside, so it won't really work. And you want the end radius to be whatever you want. I'm going to make mine 5 tick and the end radius 0. My wait time will be 10 seconds, and my movement will be 1.5. So it's a quite quick game, but you can make it as long as you want, or even shorter, but this is what I am using right here. And then when you start, you will have a storm that is slowly closing in, so that way you can't just camp the whole time. You will be pushed in by 5 tick. Now for our last step, if you want to do this, which is totally optional, is an aesthetic background. What I mean by aesthetic background is we use a barrier to make it look better. So first you want to get rid of every single wall. This is totally optional. You do not have to do this. But you do want to make sure that you leave one wall up or this thing will fall. But if you do want to make it a certain way, you can do this, and that will end up making it better. Make sure you replace anything if you break it, if you can, of course. I will place that, but for now, what you want to do is you want to get this, and you want to make your grid snap 1. So you want to get the side, and you want it to be pointing away like this on both sides. And then for this side, we want it pointing away once again, but this time you gotta make a good snap too, so it could be in the middle. So let's go ahead and do this. Boom. So all of them should be facing away in the middle of where they should be. And now for the sides, you want to make the width 3 and the height 2. That would be what you usually want, but sometimes it bleeds through and you can see the tips. You don't really want that. So for this, we're just going to make it one more for both. And you can't make it translucent. It's completely up to you. But I want mine to look better, so I will be using sky blue for all of mine. Just like this. Now you can completely change it however you want. Now for the sides, would usually be 5. But I guess it could be 5. But you want to make the height 3 for everything. Now for the sides, we're going to do 5. We're going to do sky blue for right here. Move it to sky blue. Height should be 3. Width right here should be 4. And then right here, what should be 5. Height should be 3. And then we have sky blue. So now we're in the middle, and everything we see is sky blue. Now, if you do want it to be a little bit better, you see this thing right here? That might be annoying. To change that and make it look better, what you can do is you can go in here, get this black thing, and then place these edges completely around the boss fight. So that way, they're a little more even with everything else. There you go. So now, everything is perfect. Now, of course, you can change this if you want to anything like a red force field, or maybe even a blue star field, anything you want. Nebula is usually the most used. Now that's a good one too. Cloudy sky. I might use cloudy sky instead, but yeah, I'm gonna change all of mine to cloudy sky. I know it might seem a little disgusting on the outside, but trust me, whenever you start it, it is better. So there we go. We have our cloudy sky that we can just look at, and we have just everything you want to do. It has a storm, just in case you want a storm. You do not have to have a storm, just remember that. But yeah, you have your barrier, which is a lot better than the black. You might still have your black walls, floors, and ceilings, but you have no barrier. You can fight anybody. You have a ton of mats. Now you won't have to use this many because you're fighting somebody. Hopefully they don't let you use as many. But you still have a bunch of mats. Only the amount of mats you can use is limited, but that is completely fine. And then you have the 5-tick storm. It shouldn't do too much, but mine does 5-tick. And there you go. Your box fight is complete. You can build, you can shoot, you have ammo, you have heals, you have a nice background, and you have a storm. But you don't have to have a storm. So if y'all enjoyed this box fight tutorial, please make sure to like. I will make a duos box fight tutorial if y'all want to. I can make a regular box PvP. I can make anything. Just comment down below what tutorial you want to see next, and I will make it in Creative 1.0. Thank you.